Okay, so today we are going to test which model is better at creating a post for your business. Whether it's Opus 4.8, which has created this, or Fable 5, which is the newest and best model in the world that is used by Anthropic a few days back and which has made this. In hindsight, it looks pretty similar, but of course it's very different. Along the way, you will see how I made it and how you can get it. Okay, so let's get into it. So here is the Claude Code IDE, but obviously you can try it on the web interface itself, but I like to just download the Claude IDE, and here you can just enter the reference image. You can get the reference image from anywhere on the internet, especially from Pinterest, because it has a tremendous gallery of images which we can use as a reference. But in my case, I already have a reference image. In this case, these two reference images which we will be using, but obviously these are very different genre. We have to make it for our own branding. For example, if you have a water bottle brand, for example, you have a sneaker brand, clothing brand, you can just add your clothing images here. But in this case, let's just type it out, and especially we will be using code because chat section is sort of dirt right now, because I have already a pretty good project set up which allows me to just enter the prompt and it will be generating from any image model or any video model in the world. So we will be creating the image from the GPT-2 model, which is currently one of the best image models other than Kling. But API of OpenAI is easier to get rather than Kling. So you can just head over to OpenAI API key or GPT API key. Anything you will type up, this page will pop up and you will just have to create one API key, which is pretty simple to obtain, and add it in your project. I already have a pretty good project set up, so I don't need to copy it. But in this case, you need to just go to the documentation page and just for the simplest purpose, just copy everything and paste it here. It doesn't really matter if you copy everything because Cloud will automatically clear all the rubbish you copied and will already make sense for the best documentation which is actually required. So the prompt in this case will be a pretty simple because the reference image is there. So most of the people base their credits here because they just make the prompt and they use LM for only prompting. But the thing is, LMs are best in actually reading the images rather than making the text, because there are two different models. For example, in GPT, there is GPT-2 which is creating the images, and there is GPT Vision model which is reading the images, and there is another model which actually just generating the text. So LMS are pretty good on image reading rather than text generating. So when you create when you want to create a banner or carousels for your brand, just enter the reference image and just tell them the details you want. Here we'll be using iPhone 17 as an example. So I don't really have a physical brand here, but let's just test it on iPhone 17 and see the results, because obviously iPhone 7 is always pretty good model to have here because it already have many images and it will be using directly from the internet. So in your business scenario, you obviously have to enter a simple image of your shoe, your water bottle or ring light, your device, etc. Anything you want to sell. So let's just test it here. And in Claude itself, you can make two different folders in 13th June. One will be named Claude Opus 4.8, one will be named Fable 5, and let's just see what it does. In this case, I will be generating 10 total images, 2 carousels. So in 2 carousels, in a single carousel, it will have 5 images and another it will have 5 images. So we can literally compare which one is better. So now after a few minutes, the images are done. So here you can see we have two different folders, Fable 5 and Opus 4.8, and here are the actual results. You can see on the screen which one has done better. So yeah, this is one of the homepage from the Opus 4.8 and you can compare the images here on the screen. So in my case, it has generated pretty solid images. You can directly post it. And the thing that I was telling, the project, the whole automation tool that I have, it's all carousels automatically. So don't have to set up all the reference image again and again. Here you can see I have generated hundreds of carousels in a single folder and I post it regularly on Pius.glitch Instagram profile. You can check it out there. So I already have made hundreds of carousels and I am probably done for at least 2 months now. I don't have to create new carousels every single time. So this is a pretty good system that I have built and you can get it directly in the description section. It will be having a GitHub repository. but if you need a full automation system where you don't have to set up everything. So here you can check, I was trying to make thumbnails on Flow. So you can just head over to PromptBase.shop, which is my website currently, and we have all the models and 3D websites if you want for your business. Not only banners, but website for your business you can get. You will be getting the lesson on how to build it if you want to build it from scratch, and also the source code.